Welcome back. 10 minutes, 3 debates, all things Hull City. And this week, we're celebrating a win at the MKM. They haven't come along that often this year, but by goodness, we're going to celebrate it now it's happened. We're talking about debate number 1. Should Mason Burstow now start? Should the MKM get a reconfiguration to help with the atmosphere? And given that Hull City have now played every single team bar one, who is the worst and who's the best? That's going to finish at opposite ends of the table. We're delighted to have Ben and Matty back with us, and Jack is back after revising for all his exams. We hope they went well. Jack, have you aced them all?
Yep, hopefully.
Okay, good stuff. And speaking of aces, well, Ben, that was some performance against Swansea, wasn't it? Were you that good, or was Swansea that bad?
I'd like to give us credit. I think we did play really well. Considering it's our 3rd game under Sayers, it was a drastic turnaround compared to what we saw against Coventry. But yeah, I think in part Swansea were quite poor, but I think we did dominate, and we all in all deserved the win, I think.
Absolutely. Cheers, Ben, for that. Let's have a look at some takes from that. Andy says, brilliant. Mason Burstow, absolutely love it. Dan says, that's huge. You can see the foundations that Sellers is laying. We will stay up this season, I believe. We'll come on to Burstow in a minute. Matty, can you see the foundations that Sellers is laying? What are they?
Yeah, I think so. I think we was a lot more aggressive in terms of our pressing, which was evident. And Puerta had his best game for us so far, and he was all over the pitch. And the midfield was so more effective. Yeah, they're putting him under pressure. No messing about at the back with it. We're trying to get the ball forward a bit quicker, which was great. It was an excellent performance, and it was quite nice to see some of the, I think last week there was a few haters on social media about some of the players. Giles was excellent, his best game. I thought, although Slater missed an absolute sitter, I thought Slater had a good game. Puerta, excellent. Jones back in the team, looked strong alongside Hughes. Coyle did okay, but they're absolutely, positive. Lots and lots of positives. So happy days.
Just staying with you a second, Matty, on Coyle. Last week, of course, we were here with Ben saying that he should be dropped and given a rest. He wasn't. Did he do okay?
Yeah, I don't think he was really tested, to be honest. I think he did all right. I think it was a couple of times in the first half where he maybe got caught out, but I mean, he was booked on Saturday, so it means he's out for the Preston game. So that means Drama's got to come in. Drama looked good when he came on. To be fair, I did notice that when Coyle went off, he didn't really clap the fans. So I think maybe he's been reading a little bit into social media as well, which is a shame. Because I think we said last week he always gives everything, and hopefully, that'll be the turning stone for a lot. That'll be the turning point for a lot of our players, and hopefully he'll be the one as well that'll pick up. So yeah.
Yes, we did feel like shooting Bambi's mother last week when even saying that, but it's all said in good spirits. Jack, yes, Mason Burstow, talk to me about him, please.
Well, I thought he was incredible. He came every time he's come on the pitch, he's always giving his best. I mean, it was Middlesbrough away where he got the goal, and he gave the fist bump to the fans, but unfortunately we couldn't get anything from that. And ever since he's been coming on every other game, he's just been brilliant. I mean, my brother who came with me to the game said he's going to be one of the best players this season. Reminds me a little bit like Philogene. He just cuts in on the wing. He's always ready to shoot. I mean, he's a bit greedy, but sometimes you need that. Definitely against Swansea when we needed to dig in and get something. It just takes a moment of brilliance from one player to really change the game. So yeah, Mason Burstow, prosperous player. I think he'll do great. We just need to keep hold of him.
Is he an impact sub from the bench type of player, though, Jack, or does he deserve a start against Preston?
I mean, we've got to give him a chance, and if he don't prove that he can keep it up in the game, then he won't mind being a super sub. I mean, you get more credit when you're a super sub rather than starting at the start. So yeah, I think he'll be happy even if he stays on the bench for 60 minutes and then comes on and bangs a few goals in for us.
We can't drop our man Pedro at the moment.
No, exactly.
Can't drop him. He's our man, isn't he?
Sue says, proper team game that. Pedro, Longman, Puerto leading the way. My stress levels have gone right down. Well done, lads. Up the Tigers. Ben, do you agree with that? Any other players we need to shout out here? Because we haven't had a win for that long, so we best relish in it.
To be honest, I think Ryan Giles deserves a bit of praise. I think that game on Saturday was potentially up there with his best for City so far. All of the ones that Sue mentioned in that comment were outstanding, absolutely ran themselves into the ground. I thought Alzate played well, Joao Pedro played well. All over, it was a solid display, I think.
Matty, any that we've missed?
No, I think that's every single person that we've gone through. I don't think there was. I think probably the only one was Kamara that didn't really have a massive impact, I suppose, on the game. But yeah, it was good to see Longman. He worked so hard on Saturday, working really hard. And our man Pedro needs to mention, because I thought he was outstanding. He's getting in some really good positions. But to be fair, we're playing a lot better footballs forwards and through. You know, and even I think there's a couple of points where we're just putting the ball, instead of it going backwards, we're putting the ball in behind, and he's in between defenders and he's running onto it. So yeah, Alzate was good. I can't fault any of them, to be honest. It's such a good turning point, such a important win for us. I think we'll fingers crossed, we'll kick on from this now.
Absolutely, yeah. With that win, you jump straight out of the bottom. Off the bottom into safety, and there's so many teams down there, isn't there, that this just easily could be fixable. Thanks for that. Then we'll move away from Swansea. Another debate that's reared its head this week. I want to get your views on. Jack, we'll start with you on this one. Matty says, looking back at home atmospheres over the past years, I'm wondering, do City need to change the stadium configuration where away fans are and how close City fans are to them? And also, do they need to completely reset everyone's seating plan at the MKM? There's lots of replies to this. We'll look at one in particular. But Jack, what's your immediate response to this? Are the atmospheres flat, and does something need doing?
I mean, you've got, in the City Stadium, you've got North Stand, which is kind of like a mini COP, which do get the atmosphere going. But they're the only ones. So let's just say that's about 3,000 to 5,000 fans. I don't know how many fans sit there. And then you've got a little section to the right, so the other side in the East Stand, who do a bit of chanting. But yeah, definitely we need to refigure it, the away fans. But I don't know if it's controversial, but I say moving back to the North Stand and then get every City fan in the East Stand and get some atmosphere going. Because my uncles used to go when they was younger, and that's how it used to be, and they used to say it was cracking atmosphere. But then again, you've got to. We always rely on the players to get the fans started. So I guarantee if the players start playing well for the rest of the season, I mean, the atmosphere will inevitably go up. So, but yeah, that's the only tweak I'd make. But again, the owner, when he came in, wanted the away fans in the corner, so we had the fans behind the goalkeeper. So I don't know. It's a tricky one.
Okay. Cheers for that, Jack. Ben, what's your thoughts on it? Has the atmosphere been lacking, even in the good times, even under Rosinha last year?
At times it was slightly. I think, as Jack mentioned, it almost was down to the players to sort of spark a bit of a reaction in the fans, and then it would almost set the ball rolling. I'm not sure about reconfiguring the away end. I think, like Jack said, moving them back to behind the goal would potentially be the best option. Obviously, with them being in the corner, it almost amplifies the noise, and they're projected out to all three other corners of the ground. But yeah, I think something could potentially do with tweaking, because at times we do get outsung by away fans, but that's usually the case with any away day. You normally seem to be a lot louder than the home fans. Even when City go away, it's it's just one of them. I'm not sure whether it's something that would need to be tweaked or not, because like Jack said, it's down to the performances. If we pick up good form, then it could quite easily get the stadium bouncing again.
Yeah, so another thing, when the away fans are singing in the corner at the start of the game, then you've got North Stand singing. I can't hear it. I can't hear what North Stand are singing from my end. So you kind of like I don't know, it's just one stand singled out singing rather than it projecting into the whole stadium where they can create some atmosphere. I mean, when the away fans are quiet and we do some chants, it can get quite loud. So yeah.
Matty, does it need changing around a bit?
Yeah, I think it's been poor for a while, but I just genuinely think that's down to the football we've been served. I think that's probably why it has been so poor. Credit to the Eastern actually on Saturday, because I think they actually got us going a little bit in that second half. But I suppose the West Upper's a bit of a dead spot, but I can't see him kind of going in there. But I just stick them up there. You go to like Newcastle or Sunderland, just they're away out there right in the top tier. So why don't we just stick them up in the West Stands upper somewhere and then fill the lower ball of the stadium? That would make it into a better atmosphere for me. But I can't see him sticking them in the West Stand with all our posh fans. They won't have it. They've got beer raining down on them and everything. But that would be a solution.
They did it at the rugby derby once, didn't they? They stuck some KR fans up in the West Upper, and it caused some controversy. So they're gonna have to. They'll probably have to buy a net or something, but I don't see them doing that.
I can't see that happening. But the atmosphere. But I think credit Saturday. The atmosphere once we went ahead was actually really good, and towards the end, we really did get behind the team, and it was great to wear it back, to be honest, because I think everybody was hanging on to the end. And it was great just at the end. Everybody stayed as well at the end, just to kind of. I think everybody mooches off, don't they, normally, but everybody stayed because it just meant so much. So. There is a bit on the players to get the finger out, and I think we've been served that much rubbish over the last 2 years that hopefully it will change under Sellers. It'll be a better atmosphere. So.
Absolutely. Lewis has actually replied to that saying, well, it was the years under the Allams where most boycotted has killed the atmosphere. Most boycotted and didn't come back. They found other stuff to do. Well, hopefully Sellers is going to change all that and put the good times back at the NKM, because it's a very loud stadium when it gets going. Right, thanks for that. Then Preston up next, and some very quick Christmas games to come. We're halfway there though now. You've now seen every team play, so what we're asking you for the final one before Christmas, and the halfway point is who's the best and who's the worst you've played against this season. Not necessarily who you think is going to go up, but who did you sit and watch and go, wow, they're pretty good, and who do you think you could have put more past? Jack, who's the best you've played against this season?
Well, tricky one, because with our form at home has been absolutely poor, so most of the games are going to be down to how badly we've played. But I was actually impressed with West Brom. They were pretty good. I mean, I know they went up early, then they kind of like filtered out, but they was able to have a game plan. I mean, all teams when they come to Hull have a game plan, because they found out how we played, and they just got a couple of goals and sat back. Burnley did the same thing. I thought Sheffield Wednesday were quite good. I mean, I can't pick one, so I'm just going to name a few good ones. Sheffield Wednesday were passing the ball like we weren't even there. It was pretty embarrassing. And then obviously you've got your Sheffield Uniteds and stuff like that who were brilliant, but. Yeah, I can't narrow it down to one because it was mostly down to us. It was self-inflicted defeats, really.
Okay. Just for that, Ben, who's the worst side that you've seen that you thought you could have scored more past?
I think I don't really know if there's been many, because even when we played against Cardiff and they were rock bottom, they still gave us a bit of a fight until we then sort of turned it on. Swansea, because they just didn't play very well at all. But I don't see them going anywhere near the relegation zone.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So Matty, who's the best and worst?
Actually, I think we've said this over the last few weeks, haven't we? I think the Championship's very poor this season. I remember last season. I mean, Ipswich were fantastic. I know we're going on last season. Ipswich were fantastic. Southampton came absolutely brilliant. I would probably say the best team I've seen. God, it's a struggle, isn't it? I'd probably have to go with West Brom, just because of the way they kind of attacked us and then held on, I suppose. But didn't put them under pressure. Swansea were poor. I'd say Portsmouth first half were awful, and then I thought Blackburn were poor as well. But yet we still lost. We were still losing without even a shot on target. But I thought they were poor. I don't think there's been one team that I think, do you know what, they're absolutely brilliant. But then it'd be interesting to see how many teams have said us, Mark, and you'll have to feed back to us. But I don't think we've been that bad, to be honest. But
no, not many. They've all been going Plymouth and Oxford and Derby so far are the ones that they've said worst. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. Well, that's it. It brings us up to Christmas Day. Also, suffice to say, we want to wish, obviously, all of you that have subscribed or commented or retweeted or engaged with any of our content over the last 20 weeks a very Merry Christmas. And thank you so much. Starting off new content on any football club is tricky, but this one is far more trickier because there's so many other great whole podcasts out there which we know you can listen to. But I'm really grateful, first of all, for everything that Jack and Ben and Matty have done. So wishing you three a very happy Christmas when it comes, and wishing all our listeners and all our viewers a very happy Christmas as well. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. We would love to get to 250 subscribers by the end of the new year. If you can help us do that, that would just be magical, because that would be a quarter of the way to reaching our magic target of 1,000. So thank you if you can help us do that. And yeah, enjoy your Christmas. We'll see you next week when we're, of course, doing our look back on 2024, the year that was for Hull City, and coming up with the best goal, best player. See you then for that. Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas.